Hey everybody, so I'm back to do a unveiling and a review of the Mary L. Tarot. So this was a tarot deck that I saw on Miss Kellyanne Maddox's channel, and I just decided that I needed to go ahead and buy it. And so this is how it opens up. This is your first impression. It's a very nice box. Unlike most tarot boxes, which I don't have one out here with me, very flimsy most generally. But this is what you get whenever you open it up. And this is Landscapes of the Abyss is what this is called. It comes with quite a beefy little book, if I can get it out. This is what the book looks like. And this is how big it is. And inside the book, it gives you quite a bit of information. Like, let's say, for instance, the Seven of Cups. Now, the book is set up differently. You actually get the cards this way as well. All of the ones are together, all of the twos are together, all of the threes are together. But anyway, so like here's the Seven of Cups. And here's the information you get on the Seven of Cups. It actually goes into the second page all the way down to here. So there's lots of information and lots of stuff to read over when you're looking at it, because the Seven of Cups actually starts on this page. It continues on these pages and it ends on this page. So when it comes to reading this information, a lot of it is there's a lot of information as to why this card is what it is. Now this deck, if I remember right, is actually a take off of 3 different decks. Let's see, yeah. I know it's a take off of the Rider-Waite deck. It's also a take off of the Thoth deck. And then there's one other deck that it comes off of. Oh, here it is. Mary L. Tarot is built on 3 pillars of the Marcel, the Rider-Waite, and the Thoth decks. So these are the 3 decks that this book is actually based off of, or this deck is actually based off of. All right, so the one drawback to this, like Kelly stated, is you do have to tip the box to get the cards out, which is easily fixed with a ribbon. So I'm going to take a ribbon. I haven't decided if I'm going to wrap it around the cards or if I'm going to just glue it in the bottom and allow it so that I can lift it up. But yeah. Now, first off, the thing that I want to show you is if you don't like large cards, large decks, you're probably not going to like this one. This is the difference in the size. They are similar to, say for instance, if you were to get an Oracle deck, they are very large. I mean, they're not the same size as a normal tarot deck is. I don't have any issues with I don't have any issues shuffling it, other than it's very glossy. As you can see, this is the gloss of it. You can almost read my computer screen. It is glossy, and so when I'm doing the shuffling, it wants to not shuffle properly, so a lot of times I'm just shuffling it as such versus playing card way. Although I do both ways, it just takes a second for me to do the playing card way. Okay, so now, I'm going to warn you now, if you are offended by nudity, don't watch this video before we get there. There is a lot of nudity in this deck. I don't mind it. So yeah, anyway, here is the Fool card. And as you can see in the Fool card, if I can get the light off of it. It is a nude card, but it's a different aspect on the Fool. There's not the little dog that's chasing him. He's got looks to be a water dragon and a fire dragon, and then some butterflies and a veil, and there's just lots of stuff going on in this card. It is very intricate though. He's got butterflies for slippers, whatever that means. I do and I will have to read this book quite a few times to actually determine or decipher some of the stuff. Now, all of the aces that I found, they are hermaphrodites. And she goes into explaining the different, or why, about the hermaphrodites. It's a combination of Aphrodite and Hermes, and yeah. So anyway, like here's the ace of discs, and it is a hermaphrodite with a cow head. Now, as you go along in this deck, the images start to progress. You don't really necessarily see all of what you would expect to see. Say, for instance, Eight of Wands. Like, here's the Eight of Wands. You don't really see any wands in this deck, but it's a progression. It progresses to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you look at it, it's got 8 flames on top of the lion's head, but I mean, it's not the same progression. Here's the King of Swords. Swords being the elemental air. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 feathers in here. So as you go along, they progress. The Seven of Cups is this very beautiful card. Here's the Three of Cups. There's no cups, but there's 3 waterfalls. If you look at the Two of Cups, which if I find it here, I'll show you. Here's the World card, another nude card. Here's Temperance. This is actually a different aspect on Temperance. Very beautiful card still. The High Priestess. This is actually kind of a little creepy card. If you look at it, it's as if though this pregnant woman is becoming a part of the earth and starting to sprout roots and limbs that are going into the sky and into the water and so on. It's very different, but at the same time very beautiful. Here's the Six of Cups. It's not your average Six of Cups. Let's see. Here's the Knight of Cups. This one actually does have a symbolism of a cup, but it's not really a cup. There we go. Now here is, I'm going to find, let's see, here's the King of Cups. Looks like Poseidon. Or resembles, not really him. Here's the Knight of Discs. Let's see. Here's the Lover's card for those of you that like seeing the Lover's card. This has got a depiction of, this is one of the few decks that actually does have a African American symbolism in it, and this is actually one of those cards. Let's see, here's the Emperor. Now Judgment, this is different. You don't see Judgment like this very often. Not very often. You don't see Judgment like this most generally. Let's see, 5 of Wands. Now here's one. Here's the 8 of Swords. But if you look at it, the swords, normally what you would see is a sword surrounding a person that is blindfolded. In this instance, the swords are technically the gate, each iron on the gate, and there's 8 of them. And they're closing off this tower that's back here in the background. Here's the the devil card. There we go. Let's see. 5 of Discs. Beautiful card. Page of Swords. More nudity. Here's a 3 of Wands, and this has got the 3 wands in it, but one of them happens to be a snake. So it's very different interpretation. Let's see. 4 of Swords, and this one you actually really have to kind of look at. If you look at the top right there, where I'm showing, there's 4 birds. And that's pretty much the symbolism in this card. So let's see. Okay, so here's what I was going to show you. So here's the Moon card, and here's the Sun card. So these actually go back to back. They're kind of a continuation of each other. But it's a neat little deck. I mean, little deck. This is not a little deck at all. It's a neat deck. Here's the 3 of Swords, and this one actually does have the swords represented by, it looks like quills. Yeah, it's quills. Or writing utensils, pens. Here's the Magician. This is a different card. Magician, I don't actually see. It doesn't have all the normal symbolism in it. It does have the infinity symbol, and I mean, it's got water and earth by the trees, but and air. Excuse me. So I mean, that's different. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. More nudity. It's actually a pretty card as well. Here's the Death card. Very interesting. Here is the Queen of Swords. It's depicted by 2 ravens, and one of the ravens having a eye on their wing. Here is the 7 of Swords with another raven. There's a snake in it, an albino snake, and then the emerald in it. Let's see, what else do we have? This is a little creepy card. This is the King of Wands. Now, this here, me and a friend talked about this. This is the 9 of Discs, and to me this looks more like it would be the Devil card, but it's not, because it's got a what's his name? Bathma, whatever. So we were like, this, I would say that that would be more of the, yeah. Here's the tower card. Very different interpretation. Excuse me. You can see the tower in it, but it's, yeah, it's different. Here's the Two of Discs. Very beautiful card. Now here's the Hierophant. This is a completely different take on the Hierophant. More nudity, but I don't know how much I really like this Hierophant card. I like the other cards. I love the symbolism in the other cards. This one, on the other hand, is a little, I don't know, feeding the demon creepish going on, creepiness. Let's see. Here's the Hanged Man. For those of you that like seeing the Hanged Man. This is actually a very tranquil looking card. It's not as in-depth and whatnot. Here's the Empress, denoted by a mother carrying her child and gathering food, and has a rose around her neck. And then this here is the Star. So that is the Mary L. Tarot. This is going to take some work to get used to reading with it. It's not going to be a overnight, because I'm going to have to read this book at least once, if not 3 times, to get through all of the symbolism and everything that goes along with it. And here's the back of the card for those of you that didn't get to see it. But it is definitely a very large deck. It is a it's going to be a challenge to myself to see if I can get through and figure out the meanings of all the cards, and or at least the basics of the cards, so I can continue my intuitive tarot reading with those cards. But so yeah, so again, this is the Mary L. Tarot. Normally retails for $39.99. I did find it on Amazon for $24, I think, $25, something like that. So yeah, if you have any questions or want to see certain cards or anything, please leave it down below. I'll be more than happy to make another video just of that. And until the next video, I thank you all for watching. Many blessings to you all, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.